I just want to call this things I might have missed. And this is going to be from time to time. I will do a little reflection on either scripture reading or something in life that I see differently because I've grown or learned or what have you. And just to share it with everyone so that maybe we can all see something a little different than we did before. This past weekend's gospel, Luke 15, about the parable of the prodigal son. You know, I've heard many different commentaries. I've even preached on the son, the younger son, who basically said that he wanted his father dead. You know, and because when he came up and asked for his inheritance, how do you get your inheritance? Someone has to die first. Anyway, his dad shared it with him and all of this. But the reason that Jesus told the parable was because the Pharisees and the scribes were complaining because he was eating with sinners and he was hanging out with sinners. So in comparison, the three characters in the story are God the Father, the older son, which would probably represent the Pharisees and the scribes, and then the younger son, who represented those who had fallen into sin. I've often heard people talk about how, which one do we compare ourselves to, and I think we can probably compare ourselves to all three at some point, you know, especially being parents with children and what have you. Anyway, the younger son represented those sinners that Jesus was eating with. And the older son represented the Pharisees and the scribes who said they were there from the beginning. They never lost their faith. And I think we can all compare to some of that, you know, when we watch people succeed who don't necessarily work for it or what have you. But the part that really got me, and I learned this past week in listening to some commentaries, is the end of the parable. Because in this story that Jesus is telling, he doesn't finish. He doesn't tell us what the ending is going to be. He just tells us that the father went out to the son and he welcomed him into the feast. But it doesn't tell us if he went in. Jesus left that open. He invited them in, and it doesn't tell us that they went in and celebrated the coming of life of a sinner, the return of the brother. So I wonder if sometimes if we look at this gospel, if we wonder if Jesus is offering us to come into the feast or to remain outside. He gives us that choice. He doesn't tell us what the ending of the story is because we end it ourselves. That's the part I might have missed. That Jesus doesn't end the story. He leaves it to us. He invites us, and he leaves it to us to accept or decline the invitation. God bless.